What's up, everybody? It is the one and only Nara, and I am coming back to you with another visual. If you've been following D1LA Radio since we first launched, you know we are trying something new, and we are giving y'all more content on our YouTube channel. So make sure before you do anything else, you click that notification bell, and you make sure to subscribe and all of that other good stuff. I always get excited and do a bunch of tongue-tied and tongue-twisting and twisting my words, but y'all know how we like to keep it with the D1LA family. We keep it raw, unfiltered, even so unfiltered that y'all, I didn't even put makeup on today, okay? So y'all know we are definitely about to give y'all that uncut, no edited everything. Yeah, I edited a little bit, but I try to keep everything the same. And tonight we got Mr. Joe of Mora Productions.
Glad you're here.
Definitely, he opened up the studio. He actually shut down doing sessions for the rest of the night so he can get this interview out to y'all. So make sure y'all go and follow him. I will be sure to list in the description box all the different ways you can get in touch with him to, you know, let him make your next idea a hit. But I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself the right way, y'all, because we all know I mess everything up when it comes to introducing people. And don't nobody know their brand like they self, so I'm going to let him tell y'all a little bit about him and a little bit about Mora Productions.
Absolutely. Name's Joe Duvall, owner of Mora Productions Recording Studio, Peoria, Illinois. Just had a passion for sound my whole life, and you know, making a dream come true.
Definitely. Now, how long have Mora been brought to life? Like, when did you first launch it?
Legally, incorporation, it was November of 16.
Oh, wow.
But I've been running sound for about 9 years now, so.
Oh, man, that's almost a decade, so that's definitely dope. So what made you want to actually get into doing music, well, doing production and engineering?
Recording myself. Me and another guy were recording each other on an album, and you know, we were going somewhere else too, and we figured, you know, we could just buy this stuff and do it ourselves.
Wow.
Long story short, once you start investing in it, it's a big investment.
Oh, I can imagine. Like, I'm gonna definitely insert in this video footage of the booth and the setup, and you definitely have to invest in yourself. And I'm glad you actually said that, because do you feel like someone, like when you work with artists, can you tell when they're like really like investing in this career, or when they're just doing it just because they see somebody else doing it?
I can usually tell the serious artists opposed to the guys that just want to put out a single or a single project, you know. You can tell the difference because, you know, their delivery inside the booth, you can tell that they're accustomed to it, they've been doing it for a while. Their performance is just so much better when, you know, you take the drive and you put the passion behind what you're doing also, so.
Oh, wow. I know you like, she just really jumped to another thing. So I know you said that you started off recording yourself. Now, do you still do music, or you was like, you know, I just want to be more on the production side of it? Or?
No, I haven't done my own music for probably a year and a half, 2 years now, and that's just because demand for the studio and demand for work takes priority over me fulfilling a hobby, if I may, you know.
Now, how did you come up with the name Mora?
Mora means beat or tempo in the music dictionary, and then wave is like sound wave, and then productions.
Right.
You know? And actually, the wave symbol in between Mora Wave is actually me saying Mora Wave on a microphone.
Oh, no, that's dope.
So it makes it kind of sentimental, you know.
So can't nobody never say that you took that part of anything as far as like the logo, because it's like, no, that's really my sound wave. Like,
it was easy to trademark.
I bet. That is so neat. Like, even looking at it, like, oh wow, like that's really you said it. Like, that's really, really cool. And now, can nobody say you don't know what Mora Wave look like? Because even from seeing emails from artists and stuff when they send their music out, his logo is down at the bottom of it. So definitely big ups to those artists that actually, you know, choose to just forward that email versus take it out, because that means a lot for people to kind of know where the production was done at.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, when people send music into the radio, I always look for that. Like, are they going to give credit to where it was done at? What if we want to reach out to them? You know, just different stuff like that. And I don't think artists think about it like the way the behind the scenes people think of it. But I think that is really, really cool. So, I see with the backdrop and everything. Now, did you get the backdrop more so for like when you go to different events and anything, or
for marketing in general? I mean, I take pictures here with almost all artists that come through here.
Oh, cool.
I also take it to I take it for marketing. I just had it at the Expo Gardens last weekend on the show with Rasby Artists Alive.
Yeah, I had heard about that show.
But mostly, I mean, it's just a marketing tool, you know.
It's definitely cool. Like, it's really awesome. I think it's really nice that you can do that. I know we talked a little bit before we started filming, and you were telling me about like some of the things you do as far as like collaborating with the Dream Center and all of that. Like, let's talk a little bit more about that, because I think that's neat that, you know, you're reaching out to the community. So how did you get into it with doing stuff with like the Dream Center and the other places?
For sure. My motto is we grow together. I strongly believe that if we come together, the growth's going to be bigger. Okay, so and that pertains to artists too. You know, I try to help the artists out getting the right sound, and you know, and me getting into the children's home, I actually had an artist in here with another artist that's part of the children's home. So the artist actually put my foot in the door with the children's home, which is a blessing, because I feel like now I get the help. You know, I get the help where help's needed, you know.
Right, and then you never know, it could be an individual there that might be like, wow, he came in and helped us, and he's showing us that you could really like take a dream and really make it a reality. So I think that is really neat. What are some other organizations that you have found yourself being a part of, just through like collaborations and just project-based and things like that?
Duke's Business Consulting, they're a marketing company doing a lot in the local area right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to put my foot in every door possible of theirs because I really like their vision. Their vision is to help grow the Midwest.
Wow.
You know, so with their vision and my motto, we go together, it kind of goes. You know?
Definitely. And it's really cool to, you know, find an actual established production studio and things like that here, because I do feel like it is kind of hard for the Midwest to be known for their sound. So when you think of Peoria, Illinois, and then you think about like some of the artists that come out of here, like if you could pick one artist like in Peoria that you haven't worked with yet, like who do you think that would be? And what artist that you've worked with already that you would love to work with again?
As far as that I haven't worked with, I don't know a whole lot that I haven't worked with.
Wow. I was wondering that.
As far as worked with, I mean, it's just, you know, the artists with the drive and passion are the ones obviously I want to see succeed, you know, because I see that they have a lot of dedication behind what they're doing. And that's in all different genres. I work folk, I work grunge, I work Christian, I've done religious bands, I've done, you know.
Wow.
So in all different fields, you just get to see the wide variety of, you know, growth and their vision coming true, you know.
That is so neat. Now, I don't know too much, everybody, about music. Only thing I know is every artist, most artists that I know from back home, because of course a lot of people know I'm from Michigan, but you know, it's still the Midwest. And the one thing they always tell me is like they like to hear their song play on loud, big speakers, small speakers, headphones, in the car, all of this stuff. It's like, is that something that engineers look at, like need to hear it in different, like?
Yes. We do a lot of sound referencing through a CD player, through a phone, which is mono, because it has usually one speaker. We do stereo fills, like referencing it through a headphones, through the monitor speakers. You know, we'll try to make it sound good every aspect of the, you know, wherever you're gonna play it through, I want it to sound good.
Cool. Now, have you ever recorded like live instruments with the artist, or?
I have, yeah. I've done a 7-piece religious band.
Oh wow.
We record everything from ukulele to characas, you know. So.
Oh wow. I think I would be nervous because you know they actually doing it right then and there, and it's not coming from.
It's fun. It's always good vibes. So.
I probably would have been. I would have been that person there, like, wait a minute, let me start over. I used to play the flute.
Yeah, for sure. I've mic'd a flute. I've mic'd a couple flutes here. They're fun.
Yo, I'm gonna go home trying to dig out my flute, and then I'm gonna remember I don't have that flute no more. Tell about some Joe, come record me.
That might be the next interview. Is her in the booth doing a flute session.
I couldn't even imagine. So now they had told me, I'm just looking around, and I promise you all I will give y'all a tour of everything I'm seeing somewhere in this video or maybe in the corner of the video. I don't know. One of these corners or just somewhere y'all can see it. But I see like the CDs and the frames. Are those like major projects that you worked on, or?
They are projects that's been completely done here.
Oh.
If the artist gets a CD stamp or art on the CD and a sleeve for a case, I will buy the frame and I'll frame them in recognition for doing a full album here. And people ask questions about them constantly, so it's constant recognition for both me doing the project and the artist.
That is so neat. I've never been to an independent production studio and seen that, and I think that's neat.
Yeah, it's
like,
my way of giving back. You know, it's an eye for an eye where I'm from, so.
I can't wait for y'all to see it because I think it is so neat. Like when y'all see this setup, it's like a warm and inviting area. I promise. I'm not just saying that either because he's sitting right here next to me. I would say it even if he wasn't right here. So I think that is so cool. Now I know, like I said, I know a lot of people reach out to you wanting to record and everything here. So like if somebody wanted to come in and they said, hey, I got this idea, you know, I want to do this song and everything. Do you actually construct and make the beats as well too, or is it more so recorded and then kind of giving them a feel of how, like maybe sing this part, yell on here, echo this? Like, what's the process of actually recording a project?
So Mora Productions doesn't make beats, but I do have a lot of outsources that do.
Okay.
So and I got real good beat makers, so real good production work. As far as I give a lot of constructive criticism in the booth. I do, and that's because I know sound and the artist knows the song. So if we bring that together, it's going to be the best product possible. You know. So if I feel like something can be better, I'm that engineer that'll say, hey, you know, what if we try this again? You know, let's try to get it to where we both want it. You know. What I tell a lot of artists is, I never want them to rush. You know, because music's an art.
Exactly.
And if we take our time, you know, you can make that art come to life, you know. Opposed to if you want to come in here for 30 minutes and try to rush through a track, it's not going to be as good as if we spend a little bit of time constructively putting it together as a one, you know.
I definitely agree. Because I always get confused, like, because I used to hear people saying like, oh, I'm a producer, oh, I make beats, so I'm an engineer. Then you got people that say, I do it all, or oh, you can't do it all. So it's neat to know that you like, no, I don't make beats, but I got really dope beat makers.
And the reason I don't focus on making beats is because I want my focus to be in sound engineering. I feel like if I wanted to branch off and start doing graphic designing and focusing on beats, then I'm losing focus on my priority, which is running a studio, a recording studio.
Yes,
So.
like, now, when I know you said you've worked with all different types of genres and everything, have you ever ran into an artist where it was like, oh, I don't know if he'll be able to record my sound because I'm this type of artist and I'm that, like?
As far as the artist being a little cocky,
yeah.
Yeah, a couple of them, yeah, I have. Not to the point I've been uneasy though.
Okay.
And you know, after we get a session or two in, they become more laid back and realize, you know, it's always good vibes here, you know.
Yeah, like just the atmosphere and the environment coming in. It got like a homey feel to it. Like you felt like you're at home. You don't feel nervous. Like, yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm always nervous when I go. And I like to tell people that whenever I interview somebody, I think I'm more nervous than the person getting interviewed. But it's like once I actually walk through the door, I felt more relaxed. So that's a good thing. And I think everybody used to feel like that. And plus, he got kids and he's a family man. So surprisingly, y'all don't hear my business partner in the background. And y'all always hear her in every video. Shout out to Rosie. But
Shout out to Rosie.
And you know what? That's actually her nickname. Rose. Yeah, I wanted her middle name to be Rose. But that's a different story. So back to this interview. Enough about me. Let's talk more about y'all. So you said you've been doing it for 9 years, and you said it was because you wanted to just start recording yourself or whatever. So, like, if you can go back and think about times where you were going to other studios and things like that, do you feel like you learned anything? Like, did you have a mentor when you first decided to do this, or was it all self-taught?
I did not. And actually, the studio I was going to, he wasn't the best engineer in the world. He was a good friend of mine. We had fun making songs, you know.
Oh, okay.
And that's what kind of led me to do it myself. I thought maybe I could do a little bit better, you know. And from there, I mean, I did get better, you know. I did get good with sound. And once I started getting good with my sound, I started having people saying, "Hey, can you record me?"
Oh, wow.
And I said, yeah, and that's basically how the business got started, you know. I said, yeah, I'll record you, of course.
That is
And then
so
demand
neat.
just kept going up, and I started marketing, and it became a full-fledged business. So
Wow, and I could definitely say like he's very professional, even with like setting up this interview and everything. It was all very professional, communicating, setting reminders, things like that. And I think that's really important because I feel like especially like when artists are starting off and they starting to get into the field of having to like schedule stuff and everything, it's important that they always be professional no matter what.
absolutely.
Now I know you told me you recorded dozens of people, probably hundreds of people. Is there anybody that be like, you know what, no matter what, every time I want to record, I'm going right back to Peoria and recording? Do you have those artists that have probably left the area but always come back?
I do have a couple artists that actually was from Peoria, moved out of state, and I'm still working on their engineering. They'll record their audio somewhere else, and then send the engineer that they recorded with sends me the audio, and then I mix the audio down and send it back to the artist.
Oh,
So I
great.
still have that relationship with some artists, yes.
That is perfect. So anybody that's watching this that is not in Peoria, that will not stop you from being able to work with him, because as long as you got a Dropbox, Google Drive, hell, whatever else it is out there, you'll definitely be able to record with them. And I just think that's neat. So when I know you was telling me about when they get a CD pressed up and everything you frame it. Now for the artists that are like going more towards to like download cards and
Like digital.
yeah, digital, like, do you usually ask, like, if they get anything printed out, like, to give you a copy of it, or you more so just focus more on, like, the actual CDs?
As far as marketing for the artist, really it'd just be more CDs.
Oh,
yes.
okay, perfect.
Because I don't really market too much for the artist, and the reason is because once again I'd be losing focus on the engineering
True,
side.
that's definitely
You
true.
know, but I will put the artist in the right footstep, or what I think is the right path. So I'll hook artists up. I know a few different show promoters. I'll throw them into shows, get them on stages. You know, help their
Wow.
starting point. If they're a beginning artist, I can help them get to where they can get a start and get a feel for the music scene.
Now, that's definitely awesome. I got a couple of friends that want to record some songs. I'm going to have to send them this way. If I was a singer, I would. You'll have to auto-tune me. I'm terrible. You know, it's some people that can do music, and it's some people that need to stick to radio. I'm gonna stick to radio because I already know I would be terrible. I used to always tell myself that I wanted to learn how to record and stuff. I remember being like 15, 16, where everybody was using the little Fruity Loop thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I used to try to record and stuff. Unfortunately, that didn't work for me, so.
Fruity Loops is a real good doll. Fruity Loops, people use that to this day, yeah.
Now,
I've been engineer.
what are like your favorite software to use as far as recording? Or is that something that engineers don't usually give out?
No, yeah,
Okay.
I'm comfortable doing that.
Okay.
I use Studio 1.3,
Okay.
and I bought the starter pack bundle for like $250 like
Oh,
9
wow.
years ago. And I've invested multiple thousands into that doll. So as far as third-party plugins, making stuff do what you want it to do. I stayed with Studio 1.3 because I think it's a smooth running doll,
Okay.
and it does everything the Pro Tools and Fruity Loops does. So,
Wow.
you know, and I just know it like the back of my hand. I'm really accustomed to it. So,
Well, that's definitely great. What was that? I lost my train of thought thinking about when I was asking you about the software. And this is, I have so many questions, and I think that's what it is. Oh, yeah. So back to the software that you like to use. Now, is everything able to be done in one program, or do engineers have to use different type of programs to actually get that right sound? Like,
no, usually from start to finish on an audio, it's all done in one program. Now, if the audio is recorded like out of state, like you mentioned before, if that's recorded out of state in a different DAW or a different program, they can still send it to me and I can still run it out of my DAW. So it is
cool.
universal.
I like hearing that. I think if I ever wanted to do music, have you ever had those terrible singers that come through and you know you have to do a lot of work
Oh
to their
yeah,
voice?
yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's my job. I mean, my job is to get the best sound out of the artist that I can possibly get. You know.
I'd be like, you know what, Joe? We're gonna record this sound. Then I'm gonna have to tell the DJ at the event, I'm lip syncing. Make sure that nothing cuts off. They'll be like, wait a minute, her mic not on. Then I gotta run up the stage.
And there's a bunch of pitch correction tools and stuff that we use that we can fine tune or try to get it a little closer than the artist actually was. And that also leads back to me constructively criticizing the artist in the booth, you know.
Yeah.
If I think you're off, no, let's try it again. Let's try to get it right, you know.
Yeah.
That's only going to better you and your career and me and mine, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's important to actually like I said, you have those people that can just record somebody, and then you have people like you that's actually an engineer, actually a producer. You helping them produce that sound, and I think a lot of people don't know the meaning of it. So could you break down for the viewers like the difference between an engineer, a beat maker, and a producer? Or is it all pretty much kind of the same thing?
I mean, it's all within the music field spectrum, you know. Me as an engineer, I just focus strictly on recording, mixing, and mastering tracks down.
Oh, okay. Now, I always hear people saying they gotta mix down the track. What exactly is mixing down the track?
Mixing down the tracks is like fine-tuning a vocal, or like adding delays, fine-tuning, reverb, you know, just making the track fit within the instrumental, or making the track fit one as a whole to make it sound like it's all put together right.
Oh, cool. Now, is Mora production the only way you take care of your livelihood and your family? Like, do you do anything else, or this is strictly it? This is my career. This is how we eat.
It's been strictly my career for the past 5 months or so. 5 or 6 months ago, I took this full time, and I was able to quit a job I managed for 9 years to do this.
Oh wow!
Which is another blessing. So
yeah, because to take that leap and be like, okay,
and it is
I'm
a
doing
leap.
this.
It is a leap. I managed 9 employees. My job paid me pretty good to do that. So
wow, I know they were sad to see you go.
yeah, they want me back.
I bet they're probably like, damn it, we need this to fail. But we don't want this to fail. Everybody put in the comments telling Mora Production never leave, because y'all know y'all want to record here. All them artists that's watching this, y'all know y'all want to record here. That is really cool though, that you're able to do something like it's your passion, to be able to do something fun and literally wake up and say, oh, it's not even like I'm going to work. Like I'm doing something I enjoy doing.
Right, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's not me working for someone else. Now I work for myself, and I do something I like doing, and able to provide for my family doing it.
That's really cool.
In turn, able to, you know, help out artists in their,
Right.
you know, some of the artists, you know, they're not in the best situations, and they come in here and it keeps their mind out of the gutter. It gives them something to do.
Yeah,
And
that's
even with
definitely a lot.
even with the more fine-tuned artists, it, you know, we all vibe, you know.
Right, it is so cool to, like you said, to be able to go somewhere and take your mind off of something. Like, you never know, like, that you can change a person's life, and then they have that one song, that song make it, and they can literally, like, no, I don't care what you offer me in the world, that's fine, but I'm staying with my producer. Like, this is the person I want to engineer me. Well, that's what I would do. Y'all gotta be loyal, because we all know D1LA stands for dedication first and loyalty always. And I think like that's something big for people to know when it's doing music and stuff. And I know you say, you know, it allows you to provide for your family. So how do you balance out, you know, the home life and also doing the business? Like how do you balance those out?
With set hours, with set business hours, it really helps. And you know, it was a big transition not having to get up and leave the studio. You know, I wake up in the studio, so it was a big transition not to be on a set schedule where I have to leave and then come back at a certain time.
Exactly.
But what I did to fix that problem is I'd always force myself to go to work at a certain time.
Okay.
You know, and then I'd run until the end of the sessions during the day or until the end of my business hours.
Oh wow! Now for the people that's interested in wanting to work with you and want to make sure that they can fit into your schedule, what are your business hours typically for the studio?
It is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Oh, okay. So then you have that Sunday to really focus on family.
Yep, and that is my family day, dedicated to family.
See, you gotta make time for your family. Now, I see you have a ring on your finger.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about your love life, because sometimes I gotta be in people's business.
For
So,
sure.
I see that you're married, Joe.
I am to my beautiful wife, and we have 3 kids.
And she nice. I already knew he was married, but I just wanted to tell y'all because I'm nosy. So, like, when you told her, like, hey, I want to quit this job, I've been there for almost a decade and do this, like, how did she take it? Was she like, what?
She's actually been real supportive, you know, since day one. You know, because when I started getting into recording, I wasn't making any money doing it. I was spending a lot of time trying to learn the ins and outs of what to do. You know, that's endless amount of videos, talking to people. I was always on the phone or watching YouTube videos or something to learn how to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But she's always been supportive. You know,
That is so cool.
we've had our ups and downs on it, but at the end of the day, you know, we've made it happen. So
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, I always like to see, like, when I interview people and stuff, and when I ask them about their love life, because I think like society and the media make people assume that, oh, if you're anything in the entertainment, you can't really have a love life. You have to like make it seem like you're just like this lady man or something. So it's always neat to like talk to down to earth people that have families and are balanced. Like you can do both. Like I feel like that's the whole definition of love me as hard as I hustle. Like you have to love everything about me. You can't just love one thing or try to sabotage this. Has she ever like wanted to learn how to do the production, or is she like?
I've tried to get her into it. And she's like, nah, I've seen all the years you put into it. There's no way I can learn it.
Oh man, not does she sing or anything?
She does not. I've also tried to have her do that.
You probably like, just sing this hook. I can fix you. Like, leave me alone. I'm about to mind my business.
But as far as support, it's been there. And without my wife's support, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today. You know.
Oh, preach! Say it louder for the people watching this from their homeboy or homegirls' phones or TVs or whatever way you choose to watch YouTube. That's definitely, that type of stuff make me happy. Like to really know that. I think that support and like that backbone is like what really push people to want to do stuff. Like,
right, and it was a big eye opener for me, saying for one, I married the right woman, you know, and for another, just to keep going, you know. And my kids also hear music constantly, so they're big into music, you know. And I'll hear them walking around the house singing artist songs during the day, you know. Which also means I've either done right on the sound or the artist has done right in the booth because the song's catchy.
All right, you look like, don't say that word. Do not say that word.
I've been there a couple times. I have been there a couple times.
That is definitely good to hear. So, is there anything that you want to just tell the viewers out there, the people listening to, as far as like your production, any advice you would give the artists that haven't worked with you or have worked with you and might just need a refresher on some things that they might have learned here?
Yeah, sure. I've taken a lot of first-time artists, and I want the first-time artists to feel comfortable coming to the studio, because I'm not that guy that's gonna say, hey, you're not doing it good enough. I'm that guy that's gonna say, hey, let's get it the best we can, and hopefully next time it'll be a little bit better, you know. And I've started off with them artists, and I've done multiple albums with specific artists, and I see the improvement. I see the criticism back and forth, and just the vibe in the studio helps them become accustomed to the mic and helps them be a better artist in general, you know?
That is really cool. So for everybody listening out and want to find you and stuff, how can they find you on social media, and how can they get in touch with you to set up an appointment?
Google, I'm all over the internet. I'm also accredited by the Better Business Bureau. You can look at my rating at bbb.org. www.morawayproductions.com. I do have a website. I will be relaunching that here in about 3 weeks. I had it down for maintenance, so.
Oh, perfect.
And that also explains my location, a little bit about the ins and outs of what recording, mixing, mastering is. Some of the artists I've worked with is located on my website. They can look at a little bio of the artists themselves.
Wow.
So that is a good resource too.
Definitely is. Well, I appreciate you. We are going to make sure that we give y'all a mini tour and have them explain some things. You never know. Y'all might get me on the booth. We'll see. But once again, always, thank you everybody that tuned in to these interviews. Thank you, Joe, so much for opening up the studio for me to do this.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it so much. Make sure y'all follow this man, artist. Make sure y'all come and let him bring your sound to life, because a lot of y'all need to quit trying to record in your mama's basements, okay? Your mama's basement don't got the right sound. They don't got the acoustics, right? It's acoustics.
It is acoustic.
Yes, the acoustics, okay? Your mama don't got nothing, okay?
We love your mom.
We do. We love her. We just don't love the fact that you're trying to record in her basement, okay? You need to come to a real studio, okay? Not the studio your homeboy made with the egg cartons, okay? I'm serious. But once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you check out the extra footage at the end of this video, and like always, be sure to subscribe. Make sure you check out D1LA Radio on Instagram at D1LA Radio, Twitter at D1LA Radio, and on Facebook at D1LA Radio. And remember, at the end of the day, we are the dopest independent station and media platform on the net. Bye!
Peace. I work with different interns, so that's what this is. A station where the intern can actually get into the tracks and help me mix them down, and You know, this is actually the laptop I started off of.
Oh wow,
It
like
is. It
if
is.
if I was a person being an intern, that'd like really mean a lot to me. Like wow, he trusted me with like what really started everything. Like
Right.
I would like
Sure.
that. And like I know I mentioned in the interview about the CDs, like each one of these, like who are the people, like what made them do the projects.
Well, the sound made them do the projects. They like the sound. They wanted to keep, recording here. Tyree Parker, he's a real good guy. We've done a couple albums here. He's actually just got his first album, which is about 100 CDs, and he's just started distributing his first album.
Oh wow.
Real good kid. Thomas Broadway, the top right here. That's actually one of the artists that left Peoria and went out of state to pursue music. He actually wanted to chase a dream. He's been in 3 different states now trying to pursue music. So,
Oh wow.
which is a blessing,
It
Like he
really
was here,
is.
I know he's got a lot of drive and passion for music. The bottom album here is a religious group I did. It's actually, I run live sound in my church every Sunday, and
Oh
they're
wow.
actually from my church and wanted to record an album with me, and we made it happen. So,
Now what church do you go to?
Glen Oak Christian Church.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I think that is one, like I said, that's like right. I
If
know
you're
it's right
at
around the
Republic,
corner.
it's on Republic somewhere, so.
I think I voted at that church.
Yeah.
Whenever last time I voted, I wrote past it. But I think that's it. Now, I'm pretty sure the window is so that you can talk to the artists when they're recording.
It is actually. If you look up here, there's actually a camera that I had in the other booth that I had, and it didn't have a window, so I was real reluctant on putting a window in here because it causes reverb.
Okay.
But I gave it a shot, and we made it happen, and it works great. So
Oh wow.
it does help us interact with the artist a little bit better,
I just noticed that. Oh, I'm on camera. I'm like, oh, but I'm looking around. Oh, it's in my face. That's why. Wow, like it's so neat because it's like you right here. You're able to see the artist. You're able to do everything you need to do. Then they can do what they need to do.
Absolutely.
Let's come on in the booth where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. I just wanted everybody to know as I walk slow. So tell us about what made you decide to make it so open and
The last booth I had was about half this size, and I didn't feel like there was enough space. Especially to get like live recordings and stuff done in here. It just wasn't enough space. And this feels like more, more roomy and more homey, if I may,
Yeah, like I'm so used to every time I like see people that have booths and stuff, it's so small. It's just like a little corner. So to like see a lot of open space is like,
Right.
oh man, you feel like a whole group in here. Like you said, if they got live instruments and everything.
It helps with the vibe, and the booth helps with acoustics, like you mentioned before. It helps take the reverb out of the room, and it helps the engineer, be able to fine tune the track just a little bit better than it would be rather if it was just in the middle of an open basement.
Now this is where all the magic happened at. They be like, yo, tune into D1 LA Radio. Hey, 50, yeah. Drop mic, and then you walk away. And then they come back like, you thought I was done? I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. In my last studio, or my last booth I had built, I had a little lamp inside the booth, and everybody wanted to turn off the overhead lights and turn on the lamp. So I actually wired this booth up to be on a dimmer switch, so you can actually, instead of plugging in a lamp, you can actually set a mood or a vibe to the artist,
This is for all the people that write their music late at night. Yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate you letting me come into where this magic is made at. And that's really cool. Like, if you got that person that's nervous, they could like, you like, well, how about if you cut the light off? Maybe then you won't be so nervous. Or...
For sure.
Shout out to the camera lady.
And the camera in the booth is night vision, so all his friends still can watch him, but he doesn't feel as nervous because he's in the black.
Wow. And then you don't got them friends trying to do your job by telling them what to do and stuff because they can just chill and vibe and, it's always that one friend that think they're the producer. Ain't nothing. You're nothing. But once again, Joe, thanks for giving me a tour and letting me come out, y'all. I'm going to be sure to take some selfies and upload those too because I like taking selfies. And it's a wrap. Cut it. Y'all ain't ready for my mixtape, but when it come out,
Y'all ain't ready for the mixtape.
nope.
I actually put up.